Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a little bit different, as you can probably see by the title. But I thought, I've been doing so many like makeup tutorial after makeup tutorial after makeup tutorial, and I feel like we don't really get to connect, aside from the makeup. I really like to connect with you guys in a different level. So I thought this would be a cool opportunity to do that. So the person who started this tag, her name is Kristin, and I'm going to link her channel down below. But I originally saw this tag on Cosmo by Haley's channel, which I love her. She's so beautiful, and I really like, she does such incredible makeup. So I saw it on her channel, and I was like, hey, I want to do that. It's just a few questions, and I'm going to be writing them down on the screen for you guys as I answered. But I thought it was a cool idea, so I said, why not? So this is called the Let's Go Deeper tag. So let's go ahead and get started. So first question is, where does your joy come from? And if you are a parent, you probably already know where I'm going with this, but there's no other way I can answer this question. But my son, my joy is my son. My son is my joy. It's just the way it is. He's such an amazing little boy, and nothing brings me more joy than to see him happy and thriving and just learning. And he's so smart, and it makes me so happy to see him just being a little kid and being happy and playing, and that's where my joy comes from. So second question is, how do you feel most loved? Ooh, that's tough. That's really hard because it's hard for me to answer without getting a little bit emotional. Because my mom passed away 4 years ago, and she really was my best friend. She was the person that I ran to whenever I had a problem. She was the person who encouraged me the most out of everyone in my life. I love my family, and they all encourage me a lot, always. And they all love me. My husband loves me. My son loves me. My family loves me. But I feel like there's no love like a mom's love, So I miss that. And I feel like when she talked to me, when she looked at me, when she would tell me like, do it, don't be afraid, just do what you want to do, go out there, put yourself out there. I feel like if it didn't work out, I always had someone to run back to and everything would be okay. But now I don't. So I feel like that's such a hard thing for me to deal with. And that love, I miss that love. I miss being loved by my mom. So maybe it's because I don't have it anymore. That is how I feel like it's my most loved way, but now being a mom, I know that we love everybody in our family, but I love my son the most. And it's true. If you're a parent, you know what I'm talking about. So I think that a mother's love is the highest amount of love that you can get. And I'm not saying that fathers don't love. Please don't take me wrong. I'm just saying that for me is what I miss the most is my mother's love. So third question is, what is something that you have overcome? I think is this right here. Because when I was a model and I would do all kinds of like auditions and castings and, things like that. That was my daily life. But I never, when I did auditions for commercials, I never took the speaking roles. Like I really never did, because I was always afraid to talk on camera and not really just talk about myself and say like, hi, my name's Carol, whatever. It wasn't like that. It was just like, I was always self-conscious about my accent or if I pronounced something wrong. English is not my first language. So I've always been so insecure about that. And like, it's always been so hard for me to talk on camera, which is so weird because now it's like, I do it all the time and I love it. But there's no script, you know what I mean? Like if I had to memorize lines, forget it. Like, no. I get so nervous, I start sweating, and it doesn't work for me. If I can talk on camera and just be organic and natural, I can do that all day, clearly. But I think that, so it's something that I did overcome. And because when I started this channel, if you go all the way back on my videos, my first video ever, I didn't speak because I was afraid. And then I quickly understood that, like, it didn't matter, like there was 1 people watching me or 100 or 200, or it didn't matter. This is my channel. I was like, you know, I took control out of that space per se, but I took control over my own fears and said, no, 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 this is my channel. I make the rules here. You know, if people are going to want to watch me the way, who I am and for the way I speak, then they're going to watch me. If they don't like me, then they won't watch me. I hope, you know, but I was just always afraid that they were, you know, people are going to make fun of my accent, and I still am, to be honest. But I think I've overcome that for the most part. So 4th question is, what is one of your biggest struggles and weaknesses? Grieving is hard. You know, I hate to go back to this, and I don't want to make this video a sad video, but we are going deeper here. And I always say this to people when they first meet me, that I'm not a sad person, but I have a sad story. And I do. I really do. I have lost a lot of people in my life. A lot of people. And nothing because of a disaster or anything like that, but I have lost a lot of people in my family in my 32 years of age. And it's hard. Grieving is hard. I think it's something that I will never get over it. And I struggle with that the most in my life. Every day, you know, grief has like a face that you turn around the corner and it's right there looking at you. And when you least expect it, you know, most of the time. It doesn't matter if you are having a great day or not. You would see something that reminds you of someone that you miss so much, and, you know, it's hard. So I think my biggest struggle and weakness, I guess, I wouldn't call it a weakness, but my biggest struggle is grieving. You know, I think that it's been years and years and years in between the losses that I had, but it doesn't matter. You know, people always say like, oh, it will get easier. I don't know. It hasn't gotten easier for me yet. So Mother's Day is an incredibly hard day for me. Like, it's one of the days that I literally wake up crying and I go to sleep crying. And my family have attempted to make it a happy day so many times, and I feel terrible. But I have shown up to a restaurant to eat Mother's Day lunch. My eyes were puffy and my face was just red because I was crying the whole time. It's hard for me still. And it's been years. So I think grief is what I struggle with the most. And is what I have to work on the most. Like, it's a daily battle, you know. Because of, like I said, sometimes when you least expect it, it just comes at you and you're like, oh, great. Why am I crying now? So if I had to say, I think that's my biggest struggle, is grieving. So final question is, what legacy do you want to leave? And the legacy that I want to leave is, I want to be remembered by the person who never stopped fighting. Never stopped fighting for what I want, never stopped fighting for my dreams, never stopped fighting for the people that I love, and never stopped fighting to be alive. Life is really, really hard sometimes for all of us. You know, with all the losses that I had in my life and dealing with new things and a lot of things at the same time, it has really like turned my world upside down. And I really have to fight hard to be happy sometimes. And that's okay. You know, I'm not afraid of fighting. You know, I have fought for basically everything in my life. So I'm not afraid to fight for my happiness. But it's just a few, sometimes, some days it's really extra hard. And those are the days that I have to fight extra hard just to be alive. Because at the end of the day, I have a lot to be thankful for. I really do. I have an amazing family. I have a beautiful son, healthy, smart, funny. I have a great husband. He really is someone who it's always there for me. When times get tough, he has been through so much. We have been through so much together, and I'm very thankful for that. I guess the biggest fight within myself is just that some days it's hard to, let that happiness shine through because I'm fighting so many things in my head. So I think that's the legacy I would like to leave, especially for my kid, and maybe perhaps in the future, I don't know, more kids, more than one, but that's the legacy I want my family, my friends to always remember, that it doesn't matter how hard my life was or the circumstances that were presented to me, that I never stopped fighting. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. I know it's a little bit different. I just wanted to break the cycle and, connect with you guys in a different way. Maybe someone out there who was watching this video needed to hear something that I said in the video, and if that's the case, then this is all worth it to me. I strongly encourage you guys to answer those questions. If you don't want to leave them down below, I would love to, read what you guys have to say, and I always look forward to your comments and, to connect with you guys. But if you don't want to do that, I just strongly encourage you to just answer those questions to yourself, because it was a good exercise for me, just to, get those answers out of myself. And I strongly encourage you to do the same, because we're always on the go. We're always doing stuff. We don't necessarily have the time to stop and think about, like, all right, how am I really feeling inside? And I feel like nowadays everyone's really kind of afraid to just go deeper and have deep, meaningful conversations. And I am totally not like that. I am down to talk about really hard stuff at any time. It makes me feel comfortable. I don't know why. It's just who I am. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I would love to hear your thoughts and your answers down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.